Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out Escape or ESC, depending on how you look at it. It is obviously talking about the escape key. But what we are doing here is we are running away from all these letters that are trying to eat us, and we are basically just hitting the corresponding button that is represented on that letter and watching them be crushed to bits, essentially. It's just a short little kind of coffee time style game, sort of like what you might remember from Mario Paint, the fly swatter game. It's got a similar vibe in that respect. It's just a little diversion. It's not exactly supposed to be a serious thing. And it's definitely a bit of a challenge. We're trying to run away from this angry mob of letters as these guys chase you down with crowbars and bats. The one nice thing that I have to say is the letters run at different speeds, and sometimes they will actually get tripped up on some of the scenery or even the fingers that are dropping down to kill their compatriots. It's a pretty well presented game, and even that little sound effect of them getting crushed totally is an entertaining thing. The whole thing just feels really fun. I wish there was a little bit more to it though, like in terms of presentation. It doesn't really tell you anywhere except for in an INI file outside of the game what your best score is. So, I mean, there really shouldn't be that big of a deal about putting that into the actual interface somewhere, right? It would be nice to have a leaderboard. I could see this being really fun if you wanted to play, online leaderboards. Have a few game mode mix-ups. Other things than just running away. The other way you can play this is stand perfectly still and try to just type through it. I also don't really like how it tries to quit the game every single time. I'd rather they actually, let you go back to a menu, or just even have a proper title screen, because right now it kind of lacks one. So this way, I'm trying to actually just stand still and see if I can get them before they approach me. When they start to mob me, though, it's just going to become a feeding frenzy of smashing my keyboard with all of my fists. All 20 of them, apparently. I really like the way they are all physics-enabled little bits, too. As you smash them, you'll see them break apart, and they actually sort of get strewn across the landscape. And I believe they're persistent indefinitely, which is always a nice touch. It's harder than it looks, trust me. You'd think, typing letters is something we've been doing for quite a while now. Yet, if you get the wrong combination, things go real bad real fast. But I have to say, my impressions of this game are wholly positive. For being such a silly small game, having so little to offer in essence, it's awfully addictive, actually. And it is totally free, so you can definitely feel free to go grab this yourself. It's tricky. Well, I'm trying to read these, parse the letter it says, then convert that into the data telling my finger where to press on the keyboard, while also speaking. It's definitely tricky. And the whole, game failure element when you die, of how it shows you, this messed up, garbled DOS prompt for a second, or a boot screen or a BSOD or something like that. It's kind of a funny touch. Also, little details like the finger deforming when it hits the ground. Whoa, turn around! Alright, K, there we go. C... No, you weren't out of sync. I just said that 3 seconds too late, don't worry. K, M, N... Sometimes you get two of the same letter, which is a big help, or you get two letters that are right next to each other. And the challenge really is trying to just use one hand to type, so please don't get the wrong impression. This is not a typing teaching game. If anything, this is kind of teaching you the wrong way to type. N-H... O... Sometimes you can't even read the letter in time, depending on how they approach you. Sometimes the angle that they're coming in at makes the resolution a little bit iffy, and then you kind of get this scan-line-y version. Oh, I think I just might have beaten my high score because I heard a sound. It records both your best score and also your best length of time that you've stayed alive. Of course, this is not going to be a particularly long episode, and it is also hampered by the fact that I need to continue playing it like a shark swimming in the water to breathe. Otherwise, the second I stop, the game is going to basically drop me out of the desktop, and then no more recording for me. So we don't want that. But honestly, I'm not sure how much longer you want to watch me just beat on these keys here. Oh, there we go. Barely got away from that one. It'd be kind of cool if you could get, a bat eventually, pick up some of these items and use it back against them. Maybe you get, one shot. If you mess up your key press and they happen to run into you, you get to defend yourself one time with the bat or the crowbar before it breaks. Sort of like an extra life, although then that would mean not every single enemy should have one. It could be a balancing thing. I could also see if you want to extend the life of this game, have there be like random treasure drops or some weird, stupid, customizable cosmetic detail. I don't want to get too far off the rails here, but I could just imagine that is, in essence, the way you prolong the gamification of any concept nowadays. Is you just basically add a cosmetic element, and most of the time it ends up being, you know, more fun than not fun, as long as you don't have to pay for it. Although I know there's a pretty large contingent of people that would do that. I'm not one of them. I have almost never paid for a cosmetic upgrade, with the exception of the one time I bought the Silver Knight armor for my character on Xbox Live Avatar, and that is the only time I've done it. I think it was on sale, like 200 points or something. It was like $2 or $3. I forget what the conversion rate is at the moment. But yeah, that is not a thing that I'm super into. I just thought that might be a funny detail. If you run across a treasure chest while you're trying to run away from all these letters, and lo and behold, there's a fez inside or something, and then you can put a fez on your escape key. I don't know. Well, I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot better than this, but regardless, I just wanted to give you a taste of what escape was. I have a feeling this is going to provide quite a few dozens of minutes of entertainment for a few of you out there. It's certainly a pretty sound concept, and in terms of pure gameplay, it is already pretty much developed. You know, this is just essentially as far as this concept can go. Run around, hit some buttons. Like I said, there were a few ideas you could use to lengthen the game time of it, but in terms of like the pure gameplay prospects of it, I think this is pretty well distilled already. And once you add those little tangible elements like the great sound effects, the deformable, you know, break apart physics on the enemies, that kind of stuff is, those are the kind of little bits and details that you'd like to see to make a game come across a little bit more polished. You can also just, if you want to, just mash all the keys. I think that'll pretty much work just as well. But I've been trying to play it in a more accurate fashion. I also don't want to hit the wrong button. Oh, that's another element. You could make it so occasionally there's like kamikaze guys showing up, and if you accidentally tap on them instead of let them be absorbed by you or something, then it'll make you lose just as well. So you have to be typing a little bit more accurately that way, and that would deter people from spamming all the keys on their keyboard. So there you go, there's another free gameplay prospect idea. See, if I'm running in this direction, then all of a sudden these guys start popping out of the other side. I'm pretty much screwed, but right now they seem to be coming from the right angle, so things are going very well for me. This is definitely my record so far. Kind of curious how well you guys can do, especially if you don't have to speak. I imagine you probably do better than I can. Although, you know, things are going pretty well right now. I kind of don't feel like I'm in any danger of losing, as long as this horde does not get much more significant. I'd love to get such a big stack of dead keyboard bits that I actually, like, make the game laggy. That would be kind of funny. Although, I'm sure you're not into watching super laggy gameplay footage. I'm just saying for my own sake and my own entertainment. Easy. And yes, I have been mashing the keys a little bit towards the last few moments here. G, Y. They keep getting stuck on the finger, too, which is helping me out quite a bit. I, L, L. Alright, 2 L's. It seems like it should probably require 2 key presses to press the same button twice. You know, further enhancing the level of accuracy you need, but I'm not sure to what... Wow, that was like a bunch of L's there. Not sure how many fingers this guy has. More than enough. Anyway, that is going to pretty much do it. Very entertaining little game, totally free. Go grab it. It's going to be linked right in the description. I think you'll probably get a few minutes of entertainment out of this, at least I imagine you will. And, you know, if you do, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear your opinions on some of the concepts that I've thrown out that could change or remix the idea expressed here in this. I'm also curious to hear your own ideas. What could you do for a concept like this that would make it more entertaining? What kind of augmentations would you make? You know, if you picture this was Unreal Tournament, what kind of mutators would you design to make this experience more engaging for everyone? I'm sure you could also add levels too, by the way. Like if you defeat enough of them, you level up, and then the cosmetics of the level change. Makes it seem like you're progressing somewhere. You could even make there be obstacle courses you got to run through. Who knows? Anyway, more ideas to throw on the fire there. So that is going to do it for today's episode. As always, please remember, visit indie-impressions.com for more episodes in the series, as well as if you just want to check out some of the playlists of the other stuff I've covered. There are hundreds of episodes, all neatly categorized and tagged for your perusal, If you have a favorite type of game, you can go over and browse all of that type of game. If you have a favorite distribution platform, if you want to check out all the free games, the Deseret games, the Steam games, the games on Greenlight, all that stuff is already tagged for you, so you just got to hop on over. It just takes a second. Aside from Indie-Impressions, though, I've also got Facebook.com/IndieImpressions. If you'd like to hop over there, leave a like. Just takes a second. You'll get every day's new episode delivered into your Facebook stream. Should make it nice and convenient for you, so you don't have to go tracking down each thing. I also do post occasional updates to do with the show, channel updates in general. When I'm streaming usually shows up there, contest, game giveaways, and all that good stuff. So if you want to leave a like on it, just takes a second, does help me out, as well as I also have a Twitter handle, which is @RockLeeSmile. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, or whatever doesn't fit in the comments box, if you'd like to contact me directly, that is one way to start a dialogue. I also do have a contact form, though, on indie-impressions.com. So if you're an indie developer and you'd like to get in contact with me about the possibility of showing off your show, or your game, rather, or if you want to send me over a preview build or some sort of a demo, or, you know, maybe even a review copy, hopefully, for me to cover on the show, that is the way to get in contact with me for that purpose. And I would take suggestions there as well, although my backlog is still pretty serious. I don't think it's ever going to be defeated. It is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's just become a little bit ridiculous. But it's fun, I embrace it. I am here to cover lots and lots of strange, surreal, wonderful, out-of-the-box types of indie games, so, you know, I welcome it. Whatever shows up my way, I will always check out pretty much any suggestion within reason. You know, I'm not going to do some kind of, like, horrible murder, white supremacist game or something. That's not my style, but hopefully you guys get that by now. But that is going to do it for another episode, guys. Please do check out the description of this video so you can check out all my social media links as well as the download for this game. And please do come back again tomorrow for another episode. I do a new one every single day without fail. I've been doing it for over a year. Continue to do it as often as possible, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, provided you guys continue to give me the awesome support you have been. And please do mention the show to a friend. That is the best thing you can do. Help spread the word about awesome indie games. Get the word out there about all the stuff that's going on right here on this channel, which is ostensibly completely free. So, you know, lots of entertainment. Hours and hours, in fact. I think we're getting close to, if not past, 200 hours of Indie Impressions videos, not to mention the other, like, 400 or 500 other videos on my channel. But anyway, I'm not here to pimp my channel as much as I am just to promote indie games, so that is me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely night. I will talk to you again tomorrow.